Winner bracket final, best of 5. We got Diamond Hands against PEZ, everybody. The performance enhanced Zugs. So on the left side with Sky Temple, we got Yeah Boy on Tyrael. Not as a main tank today, but we got Damage Tyrael. So they're going full Nick on this one. We got Mock on Sylvanas, Hades playing Stukov, Caesar Salad on Murden, and Nintori plays Urel. Towards the right side of the map, the red team with CPX playing Genji. We got Iptings on Lunara, BBJ with Rhaegar, Brandon on Jojo, and Porky with Dehaka. So we had a pretty exciting semifinal when ACA was playing against PEZ. It was a bit of a weird one, honestly. I'm really curious to see how they're now measuring up against the blue team here, because Diamond Hands, I would say, heading into this, is still the favorite in this particular best of 5. The winner is obviously going to move forward to the grand final of the second qualifier here for the Heroes International, whereas the loser will have another chance to reach it, but they will have to go through the losers bracket. All of this that's taking place here is, of course, just one of the qualifiers for the Heroes International, the North American qualifier. We have an offline event in the middle of October, where 3 North American teams are going to face off against 3 European and 2 Korean teams. And it's going to be pretty epic. $11,000 are on the line for the event, and it's going to be absolutely glorious. For the first time in years, we finally have an event again offline with international participation. $11,000 on the line, the flights are covered, and so are the hotels, the accommodation. We already had all of the European teams decided, and the same is also true for the Koreans. So if you want to have a bit more information about the tournament, you can head over to heroesinternational.net and check it out there. There's obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, also links in the description of the video that you can check out there as well. And there's also a link to the GoFundMe. So there's a crowdfunding if you want to help to make the tournament even better, to allow us to get even more equipment, more cameras for the players, for the shots. If you would like this event to maybe be hosted again in the future, that's something where you can support the event a bit. Every single donation that comes in is also going to be matched by our sponsors. So meaning for every 20, 30, whatever bucks you put in, there's going to be an equal amount donated by the sponsors. And yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Tim is going to be there, so I'm going to be commentating with Trixler. We have Fan on site, and the same also true for Michael Udall. So if you want to stop by and shake hands with some casters and players, it's a good opportunity to do the same. Again, takes place in Miami, so heroesinternational.net for additional info. And we have our best of 5 at hand, so, well, with that, let's go. We got already the Hold Your Ground here on level 4. We got, in the case of Sylvanas, the Unstable Poison. Murden with a Sledgehammer. You get a little bit more damage out against the boss. I'm still a bit surprised that he actually goes for that right now here. Would have thought that they would go a little bit more, but yeah, fair enough. Either way, has of course a cooldown reduction element to it too, so that really helps. We already have topside, Yeah Boy still doing a bit of work with this Tyrael, as is tradition with Damage Tyrael. We are starting with the Ardent Restoration into the Divine Vigor on level 10. Very likely Judgment is going to be used as the main talent. And that also opens up a couple of possibilities, because you have Sylvanas, so you could use a Veiling Arrow after the Judgment. Talking about Sylvanas, yep, that's a kill. Sylvanas down, first blood, the red team taking the lead as we have the temple spawn and the first shots are already fired in the middle. But yep, Tyrael should be kind of fun later on. Nick is the first one who did this. He actually played Tyrael at the Masters Clash multiple times. Another offline event that we had with only European teams participating in Paris earlier this year. But back then he started to bring Tyrael in for his team with Judgment and as a assassin side laner, using the mobility, using the damage, adjusting the build, and not simply using Tyrael as a main tank. A little bit of an interplay here in the middle as Nintori is getting attacked, but the shots are fired on both team sides. Now we got level 7 talent. Another one! Look at that! More tower damage against Urel, but she's able to make it out from this one. And here we are, all the way up at the top. Brandon taking the remaining shots. We have still topside. Bit of damage done against the wall and the fort. They're currently breaking through this, or at least they're trying to, but they can't take the fort down completely. Sylvanas bursting that wave down is shutting that attempt down pretty heavily. Yeah, Ipting's also on Lunara eating some damage here, but they're still fighting over the remaining shots on the middle temple. Sky Temple, of course, a map where it's heavily important that you do structural damage without the objective. The more you do, the better. And they're currently trying to pull that off here with Sylvanas. And Sylvanas, as the game continues, is definitely going to be a massive asset in the attempt to take down a couple of towers, maybe even a fort, and then work your way forward to trade with your opponent on objectives and get even further ahead. But one of the things that normally happens in Sky Temple is eventually you end up having a fight over the boss. That can be either when an opponent realizes that they are falling behind, that they have to throw a little bit of a Hail Mary and force a fight there. Maybe somebody takes a talent lead and wants to capitalize on it. But at this point, when we're talking about talent leads, it seems like PEZ is going to be the one to lock in the first one. We have a 3-to-0 kill ratio, and Mirrodin is also getting dropped, and he might not be the only one. Intori is in trouble too, and that's the end of Urel. It's a triple kill for Team PEZ, and they are coming in heavily. Damn, son. Alright, so that is going to be exactly what I just talked about a second ago. A lot of structural damage dished out. They put the damage and the hurt onto the fort in the mid lane. And with the top fort also being quite low here. There's level 10, maybe another kill. They get Stukov, there it is. And holy shit. Like, if they can keep that momentum up with 6 kills to 0 already to their name, then this could be a quickie. The next temple is of course spawning bot side, and it's a solo temple. But if they get a bit more ahead here, then we're going to see those forts fall very quickly, and then it's time for the keeps to be attacked. So level 10 definitely helped them here. But again, as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of aggression once heroic abilities are available for Diamond Hands. They're currently waiting for their next talent, but especially with Tyrael here played in the role that he takes, there could be a lot of very aggressive moves by the blue team that will lead to kills quickly if they play their cards right. So Tyrael should go into judgment. There it is. And there's the Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas. Now they just have to find a proper target. And that is going to be very likely Lunara, which means that Rhaegar in particular has to be very, very careful how he plays this out. She needs to be protected, and Rhaegar has to be the one to facilitate that. But the shots are being fired. The Hakas at the top, so having the global in their lineup is of course very nice also for Team PEZ at this point. So let's see how they're going to play this one out. We got the stun in. So far they haven't really used anything, but yeah, boy is always aiming for a position with this. But the shots are now being fired, and again, blue team is already behind. The fort at the top is also starting to be in trouble since Dehaka escorted an entire camp through. Here's the play for Jojo, and she just disappears. They're making a move for Rhaegar. BBJ has a chance to get away, but he's getting completely swarmed. Zerged down as the blue team locks in a second kill, and now just goes for the massive momentum train here with the help of Sylvanas. The temple at the bot lane is opened up. They've taken the fort at the top thanks to their camp. But with the 5 versus 3 situation, this is of course going to be a bit of a victory now for Diamond Hands, at least in this fight. If they get a few more kills here, it would be even better. Stormbolt misses. Caesar Salad not able to get the hit in. Yeah, if things are still jumping around and playing this a bit risky, they are still outnumbered here. Still got to deal with the top lane though, because they're likely going to take even more damage now. And yes, indeed, they will. I mean, the hearths are happening, but that still doesn't change the fact that not only the gate, but also the towers are taking real damage here. Camps are now also getting attacked, but there's an opportunity for Team PEZ to maybe move in and take it away from them. That's exactly what they're doing. Nicely done. Level 13 talents in the hands of the red team. More aggression in the mid lane as they're continuing to poke out the structures. And that fort is going to fall. So they are heavily ahead in structures. That's the second fort that falls on the blue team side. And the one at the bot lane has also now taken some damage thanks to those siege giants. The wall has been opened up too. So this is a big problem for Diamond Hands, because if there's now 2 temples up on the map and they're trading evenly with the opponent, it's a big win for the red team, and they're eventually going to win the game just on that advantage alone. So pretty uncomfortable situation for Diamond Hands. They need to win a couple of fights, or, as mentioned earlier, try to make the play for the boss at some point in time. But yeah, so here we are. We got 6 kills to 2. We currently have 21,000, 22,000 damage for Sylvanas. A bit more here for Lunara, who comes in with quite the numbers game. 30k for her. poking them slowly to death. Dehaka, they want the drag. He's looking for it. Judgment already being used. They're making a play for Mokka. And he's about to go down. There's the final hit from Genji. Good move from Rega with the Ancestral Lunara. That one came just in time. Now they're going for Muradin, and that's another kill. They immediately focus their attention onto the boss as they realize that there's a huge opportunity now to push even further ahead here. Take that bottom fort. Yeah, and then also take the temples, I'd say. So things are looking really, really good right now. Yep. That is not too shabby. Okay, so what do we get? We got Nintori rushing away. First shots are already taken here. And down at the bottom of the map, the boss alone is obviously already going to do a lot of damage. Dehaka is now moving to the bottom temple. This is a real issue for Diamond Hands. They're falling heavily behind here. There's not a single fort that has been destroyed on the red team side just yet. And with 8 kills to 2, we have half a level missing. And still the level 16 advantage is in the hands of Team PEZ. So with Dehaka now also attacking the bot lane and the boss being there, there's a real chance they're going to lose maybe even... I mean, I don't think they're going to lose the keep, but they're going to take damage there. Dehaka still has half the shots remaining. I'm not quite sure if they're realizing how much damage they're taking down here. This could be the first keep of the game. And level 16 is very close. Genji is at the top trying to get the extra experience for them. So this is a massive win for the red team. They're going to get this one, 100%. Boss is going to do enough damage. Dehaka is firing a few more shots. There's level 16. They're starting to fall back here. But the mid lane has completely been soaked. So the temple is done with. And more shots are being fired. Looking very, very good here. 2-level advantage, nearly 8-2. And, well, over to the left side of the map, we now have at least the camp taken. So, in the same time, what else are we getting here? Are they making another move towards... Well, they should... Where's the next temple coming up? I mean, they have to force a fight once they have level 16. So the first priority has to be soak the experience for level 16, make a move to get the next talent, and then once that you have that, try and force a fight and take it from there. Because if not, they're gonna die a slow and painful death here. But Team PEZ seems to be very eager to capitalize a little bit more on the talent lead that they currently hold. So that's what they're currently doing. And here we are. Yep, there it is, 8-2. They still hold that 16 talent and they're using it. They're breaking through the gate, starting to take it down. And they can maybe also damage the keep a little bit. That would be the dream, but it's double temple that's coming up next. So there's a big opportunity for them to move in and at least get one of them fully soaked, despite the fact that 16 is now available for the blue team. With that, we have the Will of the Forsaken for them, for example. We're also getting the Burning Halo and a Sword of Justice as well. But, well, down to the bottom of the map, there's still Siege Giants to be dealt with, but the Catapult is currently taking care of that too. And as it stands, we have a chase on Brandon, but he gets out. So Brandon gets out, he's already in the move back. And, well, we're waiting for the temples. 20 seconds. And then the blue team has to decide how they want to play this. They can't just simply sit on one of the temples and soak the shots and that's it. They need to force a fight. They are down to 2 keeps. That's all that they have left. The opponent still has a couple of forts standing here. A team fight is pretty much the only thing that can help them. And the problem is also that Team PEZ has Porky on Dehaka. If you have a global on top of this, then he can always pressure the side lanes. Nice drag! Judgment, but Urel is dead. Urel is down, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a disaster for Diamond Hands. Here comes the next move. They're going for Tyrael. They drop him too. And boy, oh boy, are they in trouble now. This might well be the end of the game. With a triple kill, they could now move down to the bottom of the map and attack the core directly. Given what we've seen in the semi-final, I would assume that they're going to play this safe as they can and just make a move for both of the temples instead, which is also going to get them far ahead here. I think they would have had a chance to go for the core. It was 25 seconds for Urel, and she would have appeared in the middle to defend. They only have Muradin and they have Stukov. But if you take, of course, both of the temples, then you're more or less guaranteed to take the keeps down. And that's exactly what they're currently doing here. 43,000 damage for Lunara, 34k for the top damage deal on the blue team side with Sylvanas. We got nearly level 20, so now they have also strong talent advantage. I mean, they're wrecking them. They're absolutely wrecking them. They have 9 kills ahead, And we have with the Storm Talons another huge advantage. The keeps are all gone. The core is getting attacked a little bit by the shots. I don't think they can break even through the shield. But unless Team PEZ is totally shitting the bed right now, they are going to lock in a victory in the first game. Yeah, so that has to be a thing. But here we are. Tyrael is again blown up within seconds. He was supposed to be the one that blows people up. And yep, that's bad news for them. So now down to the bottom of the map, catapults are already moving in. Question is just simply how you play this out. The boss is up in 8 seconds, so their safest bet is to just simply go for the boss here. Take the Siege Giants first. They have a 20 advantage, they have a numbers advantage. This is pretty much a 1-2 KO punch that we're watching here. First, they've taken every single keep down. Now they've taken control of the Siege Giants that will start pressuring the bot lane. And in the meantime, they're making a move for the boss. Yeah, Jojo should just slow them down a little bit. I wouldn't even chase here. I don't really understand why they're even chasing. Just go for the boss and take it. They get the kill, but so far they've been reluctant to approach the core. It's still a 5v4, and they're using their ults now too, but they are able to get another drop on Caesar Salad. Muradin is down. And at this point, I think, well, do they lose Lunara now? Yep, they do. So Lunara is dead, and they get at least a kill on Ural. Alright, this has to be game. I mean, 15 kills to 3. The core is already getting attacked by catapults, so the shield is moving down quickly. Yep, there's the damage, and they are now moving in for the final blow. That's the final nail in the coffin here. Nicely done. Very convincing victory in game number 1 of the best of 5 series here at the winner bracket final for Team PEZ. They take it on Sky Temple, the 1-0 in the best of 5 against Diamond Hands, as both teams try to reach the grand final and get a ticket for the trip to Miami. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, boys. We got Yeah Boy on Hanzo. He went pretty much no boy on in game number 1. That Tyrael did not work out for him whatsoever. Mocha is playing Genji. We got Caesar Salad on Johanna. Habi is playing Brightwing, and Intori is playing Blaze. The team is down 1 map in the best of 5 here at the second qualifier for North America for the Heroes International. We got CPX on Tychus with Grenade build. Iptings is playing Sylvanas. Brandon on Murden. BBJ on Deckard Kane. And Porky is playing Leoric. All shall suffer. And honestly, Porky, I mean, if anybody should ride a money pig, it's him, right? So I'm just not okay with this one. That's not a good mount. If you're named Porky and you're not riding a money pig, you're doing it wrong. I think we can all agree on that. So yeah, he should definitely ride the piece of bacon. That's the only thing that he can really do without being ridiculed. So that's a lost opportunity and a half. We got Brightwing as the only, well, pseudo-global. I mean, she doesn't really have the wave clear to side lane pressure too much, but she can at least help out a little bit if need be on those side lanes. Now, it was a fantastic start into the series by Team PEZ. If they can really cause the upset here and move on. It's a little bit weird. I mean, it's not like the red team has any bad players or anything, but after the first qualifier, where, to be fair, to my knowledge, the red team didn't participate, or they got eliminated early, but I don't think that happened. But yeah, I would have still given the role of the favorites to the blue team, so it's a little bit of an upset, I think, if Team PEZ would just march through this one. But we're also only in the winner bracket final, so it's not like there's not a lot of games still being left here one way or another. The Shimada brothers for the blue team might be able to turn it around for them, so Hanzo and Genji gonna do their thing. By the way, talking about Starbucks, yeah, so if, in case that you're not aware, like Hanzo and the image here, I mean, he honestly looks like that little bit of a hipster soy boy that goes to Starbucks and goes for these long orders where he just makes any barista going insane. There's an interesting thing in Spain. So today we were on another bike ride and there was like a bus that we had to follow for a while, and at the back of the bus, like a public transportation bus in Spain, they had advertisement for Starbucks. And I really don't understand Spain sometimes because, again, it is a local bus in Valencia and they just closed pretty much every single Starbucks in Valencia during COVID. There were only 3 to begin with. because they are limiting the amount of, like especially in the inner city, they are limiting oftentimes the amount of certain businesses. And they closed down, I believe, all 3 of them. I know 100% that they closed down 2 of the 3, but I thought all 3 were closed. And now they're advertising Starbucks, and they're pretty much like saying like, hey, do you want to have coffee that's made with love? And I'm like, well, maybe not the coffee, but I would love the banana bread or the lemon cake. So I'm just sitting there, like, yeah, I would kind of like to, but there is none. So what are you actually advertising? I don't get advertising in that situation. I really don't get it. Like, you're advertising for something that I can literally not get here. So, kind of ridiculous. Maybe they opened a new one somewhere that I'm not aware of. At some point I need to do some research. That's one of the things that I actually kind of enjoy. Like, you can say about their coffee whatever you want, but the banana bread or the banana muffins and the lemon bread, whew, oh, you have to keep that far away from me because I can eat that all day, every day, and just get fat doing it. So yeah, definitely very, very good. But yeah, anyways, a little bit of a side tangent here, always triggered by Hanzo, our little soy boy over here. So first shrine is up. We haven't seen a single kill yet. It was the usual jumping around between the teams trying to get a bit of an edge. But now Nintori needs some help. And there's the Stormbolt on Brightwing. The Fruit Fly eating that one. And not only that, it's a kill as CPX comes in and finishes Trashwing. And down goes the Fairy Dragon. And they are starting to go heavily for the top lane now. Leo is left alone with Hanzo down at the bottom of the map. It's already 30 stacks towards Diamond Hands, but it seems like Team PEZ is now going to try and utilize Sylvanas to maybe even break through that top wall and do the damage here. Give up the Punisher and fight back on this one. But right now we got level 7 in play. And, well, the melting point is in. They're trying for Mokka and he gets out. Yeah, Mokka. And we're back to Starbucks. Okay, so I actually don't understand why people are always like hating so heavily on the coffee at Starbucks. It's not the best coffee in the world, but it's not really... Does anybody go to Starbucks because they're expecting the best coffee? I don't really think so. You go to Starbucks because you want to have like a guilty pleasure drink with a lot of sugar. By the way, some of these drinks are ridiculous. You can literally have a drink at Starbucks that has like 1,200 calories or something, or 1,300. It's insane. That's pretty much a meal what you're getting there. It's totally nuts. But yeah, you're getting sugar water. You're getting sugar water. You're getting a little bit of muffin stuff and whatever, and that's it. So I don't know. And you're there for the internet, of course. Yeah, that Punisher, he's already jumping ahead. Nice bait over the wall, as you should. It's always nice to see that in top players. This is shit that you don't get to see in Storm League a whole lot. They always trigger it in front of it, and you're just sitting there and you want to bite into your keyboard and punch things. It's like, how have you not learned this? But yeah. So 1 kill to 0. Compared to the last game, this is a little bit more uneventful, but this is going to change, I guess, because now Jojo is getting attacked here. But she is still able to get away. So, as it stands, what happened? We have the top lane taking a little bit of damage because of that push. They also got their 1 kill there, but they couldn't break through the entire wall. The Punisher was taken and at least destroyed the wall bot side. So it's not quite... PEZ wasn't quite able to do the same amount of structural damage, but they still had an experience. Thanks to their rotations, they were able to also come in and get that 1 kill against Blaze. So everything is still Gucci for them. Now, with that, it's level 10 that we're going to look forward to now. And on the side of Sylvanas, obviously also the question how we're going to see that play out. We've seen a lot of mind control lately, but those wailing arrows, if they're on point and, for example, comboed off with an Entomb, they can still do a real number on you, especially when dropped at the right moment in time. And the good Sylvanas player might just be able to solo a hero or two if she comes out of a bush and uses the Wailing Arrow in time to drop the damage. But either way, a couple of these guys are still dancing around also. Oh, and we got the meme strike! Yeah, it's Dragon time, baby! Yeah, look at them. The snakes are back. Okay, those are more dragons, by the way. Those are more dragons. It's really a skin question more so for that particular ult, but sometimes it just looks like 2 snakes fucking. But this was a little bit more Chinese dragon style that we're seeing from Hanzo here. Meme Strike, obviously, something on level 20. Really unfolds at full power once that you get the cooldown reduction. Mind control for Sylvanas, by the way. And with the falling sword, we have also a tool now that Jojo can use to threaten Deckard Cain in particular. The old man with the stick. moving around in the back lane pretty slowly. So if Jojo can make a move here, good for her. Same time though, you have to also acknowledge that it's a nice tool to escape if you are being pressured. So that's something that can be used by her later on too. But yeah, we got 11,000 damage for Sylvanas, 15,000 for Genji. Caesar Salad. Already sitting tight here in the middle, and up towards the top lane we got Mocha. Talking about salads, by the way, I've been talking a little bit about paella in Spain, because every time I'm talking about food in Spain, people are mentioning paella, and I'm always saying, like, guys, at the end of the day, it's just rice with stuff. And it's kind of true. So while I appreciate a good paella, I feel it's also a little bit of an overrated food here. But if you ever make it to Spain and you want to have a proper paella, what I can really recommend, what I personally enjoy here quite a lot, is a paella negra. So the black one. That one is actually really, really good. If you get that at a good place, I heavily recommend that. So yeah, for all the people that are always talking about food, totally not me, that's definitely a thing. Now I'm hungry. Anyways. It's not my fault. He's literally called Caesar Salad, okay? So yeah, this is not my fault. This is not on me. And this guy is called Porky. Oh. What is wrong with people? I can't concentrate if you name yourself like that. Yeah, either way. Okay, so with that we got now 1 kill to 0. We got level 13, and here's the next objective. This is a little bit of this is a bit of a calmer game, I gotta say. Not as much action and not as many kills as we've seen in the previous ones. Now, with that, we got the Remorseless in. We already have, yep, Brandon moving back too. They have taken the initial lead on the shrine, but they didn't want to hold the position for too long because Leo wasn't here yet. So they're still waiting for their 5th. And there we go. Nintori will have to drop the bunker. Bunkers it up pretty quickly. And that's a nice cooldown victory for Leo, so that's a good one. But let's see if they... Oh, yes, there's the mind control, and it hits hard. Stay a while and listen, baby. BBJ coming in with his ult and trying to make their ears bleed once again. Deckard Kane telling stories of his youth once more. The good old days. Oh, yeah, the days when you didn't have a cell phone. You guys still remember landlines? You remember that? I remember landlines. I remember waiting at the phone for a call and getting pissed when my sister would then call her boyfriend and block the phone for like an hour. And I was waiting for somebody to call me and tell me when we would meet to play football. So yeah, the good old days. So yeah. Who wasn't mad in those days at their sister at some point? Everybody had a sister who was just blocking the phone for hours, talking to her boyfriend or something. It's just like, my sister literally at some point was told that she needs to go to a public phone booth. Yeah, those existed back then. And talk to her boyfriend there because she blocked the phone for too long and we only had one line in the house for a long time. So yeah. Good old times. Good old times. Anyways, 13 to 13, they get the Punisher. Pretty much uneventful here, because with all the pressure in the team fight from Team PEZ, they were able to lock that one in quite easily. Here's now a chance to finally get a kill, and Hanzo goes down. Hanzo is dead. Blaze wasn't even here. He's at the bot lane trying to pressure this back, but they are, of course, getting quite some value at the top. They took Hanzo down. They're able to take the fort apart, and now they can decide whether or not they want to move into the mid lane and try and drop fort number 2, or if they want to push a bit further with the Punisher. It's still a 5 versus 4. Even camps on the map could be taken by them right now, which is what they're currently doing here. We have Porky moving back down to the bot lane, also looking for additional experience, trying to snowball them a little bit further towards level 16. But I gotta admit, Team PEZ, they are doing extremely well here. They came in with a 1-0 lead on Sky Temple, and now they are trying to extend that by taking down Diamond Hands on the second map too. So yeah, me likey. Looking real nice for them. We got level 16 talents in just half a level. Only one of the forts was taken down, so they couldn't really do any damage in the middle. But here we are once again. Yeah, boy getting attacked. Brightwing coming in, trying to help out. Sylvanas is top damage for the red team with 22,000 to her name, whereas Hanzo with all of the poke is now taken over. And yeah, we are. Another ult being YOLO'd out by Airboy. Now again, that ult can already give you a lot of control over shrines and really help you to secure some space on the objective, but it's really gonna get great once level 20 is ready for them. So yeah, Leo has the ghost out again after he was trying to pressure Hanzo once more. Hasn't quite happened. But yeah, here we are. Porky, bit low, not activating the trait though. Nobody has died yet on that team. You've survived through everything. Now we have level 16 talents on both sides. Grenade build obviously has been continued. And Leo, I mean, that was an honorable Sudoku move if I've ever seen one. He literally moved straight into 3 with pretty much no hit points. I guess he didn't have vision. But boy oh boy, that backfired quickly. Mind control connects with Genji but is quickly shut down, and now the camp is about to be taken. So finally a kill for Team Diamond Hands. Nicely done. Yeah, now obviously we also get the super healing potion and we got the Horadric staff. Up towards the top left, Nintori is pressuring the camps again. I mean, he's been doing a lot of damage on the side lanes and minions. Well, he should be the top soaker for them if you're looking at the experience for just a second. And yes, he is by a huge margin. 15,000 XP gained by him. It's kind of interesting also when you're looking at the numbers here. You can really tell that the blue team has done a bit better with the minion experience, but they're obviously trailing behind in hero experience and the structural XP that has been dripping in for Team PEZ, thanks to the fort that they dropped at the top, has also been doing a little bit better for them. But yes, either way, right now we have Leo chased again by Genji a little bit, but this time he has some backup. And I guess they want to have Blaze again. Not so sure if they can get him though. Nintoria has realized that they are most likely headed his way. Yeah, Leo hasn't been sniffed out yet. Here comes the play into the backline for Deckard Kane. The old man might be in trouble here. Yep, Deckard, there's the arrow, shutting them out a little bit. Deckard gets attacked, Deckard gets focused, and they take him down. Easy kill right there. Porky now also on the menu. They want the piggy and they get it. So bam, double kill for Team Diamond Hands, and they might just start to execute a bit of a comeback here. Now they themselves have already done some damage at the bottom fort, and the same is also true for the middle, where the wall has been destroyed earlier by the Punisher. Now they're going for another one, and with 3 kills to 2 they've taken the lead in the kill count. Muradin and Jojo still playing out. I mean, you can't really call that a fight. 2 tanks going at each other is usually a pretty sad endeavor, and it's just one of those things that's going to last for ages, and nobody's going to die there, like, ever. Unless you get wall stunned a couple of times by Diablo or something like that. But we have them with the Frozen Punisher in the mid lane. That should definitely drop the fort here. Now, the question is, of course, can they maybe even get to 20 quickly right now? And that would be kind of nice. If they can pull that one off, that would be pretty neat. But yeah, for now, it's all about the fort. It's all about trying to get a kill. Frozen Punisher, of course, insanely strong. Inbuilt Sylvana's tool here. And talking Sylvana, she connects another mind control. But didn't get too much here. Jump, proc in front of the gate this time. So this is also a bit annoying. That gate is going to take a lot of damage because of that. Yeah, ult once again from Hanzo. Zones them away, and a lot of damage against Porky too. So that's another problem. The jump again procced, and the stun is there. The first tower is down. Second one will likely fall, and the gate has also been eliminated. They are moving down to the bottom of the map, I would assume, to try and take down fort number 2. So there's a lot of momentum building up for Diamond Hands now. They had some trouble in the mid game, but now they're starting to look better and better in game number 2. And this could well end with a victory for them if they can contain this a bit further. Because now they have the Dragon Awakens, and our cooldown reduction is in. Definitely a huge power spike for our boy Hanzo. And yeah, they are already starting to damage the bot lane a little bit, attempting to capitalize on the level 20 talent. So here's also the cooldown reduction for Jojo. Their level 20 talents are kind of nuts. Cooldown reduction in general is just an amazing thing to have. And Jojo and Hanzo have massive power spikes with those ults once that they reach their storm talents. Yep, and there it is. So already starting to threaten Brandon, and he's dead. Brandon down. Mocha and yeah boy, they are doing their thing, moving now through the towers, through the gates, straight for the keep. Opponent still doesn't have level 20. They're being a bit more aggressive around this and poke this out slowly, but yep, obviously there will be a storm talent for Team PEZ in a few more seconds, but you can still long distance poke this as long as Muradin isn't here. For Muradin, we got the rewind, we got the Dark Lady's Call, big red button for Tigers, and Sylvanas dies. Nicely done. Diamond Hands, they see an opportunity to take Sylvanas down. Mirrodin is still gone. The keep doesn't stand a chance, and now they gotta decide whether they want to move towards the core or not. And I kind of like that they're a little bit more decisive on this one and really also risking this. Even if they have to fall back here, they can make that work. But they're starting to threaten Leo and nearly get a kill on him. The core is already losing its shield. And that is the kind of decisiveness and action that we have sorely missed in the last series, in the winner bracket semi-final. And they are falling back, but that's totally fine. They baited out a couple of ults. They were able to try and see if they can get another kill. If Leo would have fallen, for example, the core would have definitely been taken down. So they realize it's not going to be all that easy. So they just retreat for now. There's still a couple of camps to be taken. You can prep for the next fight on the top. And of course, there's catapults massing up on the top lane too that they gotta deal with. But generally speaking, their situation is pretty good right now. 5 kills to 2. They have taken the bottom keep down. This is also a lane where they have not lost their fort yet. So it's gonna be continuous catapult pressure for the blue team that they can deal with. And yep, we'll see what they can pull off on the next objective. Because this might be the last objective too. Might not even have to go for it. Depends all a bit on whether or not they can get a kill here or something. But yeah. Now 40,000 for Sylvanas. We got 64,000 for Hanzo. CPX on his way towards the top. Sun's out, guns out. Still summertime, baby. So yep. Here we go. Yeah, and talking about trying to go for kills, Leo is dead again, activating his trade for the 3rd time in this game. So now they're playing a 5 versus 4. And this is getting a bit nasty because, well, Leo will be back a bit faster than the other hero. Doesn't have travel time for the Nexus either, so that's always the advantage that you have with him. But still, for now, it's gonna be a numbers advantage for the team. Ooh, mind control. Yeah, and Intori might be hit here. Good old Brightwing trying to enter the bunker. Blaze was like, get the fuck out of my bunker here, you stink. But eventually, Habe forced his way into it, so the fruit fly hasn't been eliminated. This is a problem too, by the way. Yeah, this is gonna drop the keep in the middle if nobody's paying attention to it, and it doesn't seem like they are going for it. They tried to prevent the Punisher from being taken, but there's a significant lead already. Ult's just going to be YOLO'd out by Hanzo throughout all of this. And as we have the mid-keep being destroyed by the camp and the catapult, the bot lane is also pushing towards the core, and there's 2 catapults that are moving for that one too. So it's a 5 versus 5 for now, but Team PEZ is running out of time, and they're running out of time quickly. Their mid and their bot lane are both being assailed, and the blue team is just wasting their time up at the top. So now the core is going to be attacked by the double catapult. Mid lane keep is falling, and yeah, they don't care anymore. They're just like, you know what, boys? We are going to try and make a play for it. Or so I thought, but apparently I'm wrong. So I thought they would just go for the core at this point and have somebody interrupt at the top, but no. There's a couple of points lost. 3 heroes retreated, so they were just waiting to see how many would move back. And then they make their play at the top lane. Either way, they should be fine here. 95% on the core. Too many had to move back. Now Genji is trying to slow them down a little bit. Gets hit by the mind control. Yeah, who saw that coming? But that's a kill. No, it's not. He still had the Swift Strike cooldown. Okay, I thought he used it. But no, he's able to get away. Punisher has already been taken. And here we are. They're starting to move through the top, trying to take the fort down, and also Porky. And yeah, that is Leo dropping very low again, having to retreat as the rest of the team is attempting to deal with Brandon, had to pop the avatar. So lots of aggression now against Team PEZ, and they are definitely on the ropes here. There's catapults moving in at the bot lane again. Leo is attempting to deal with the mid lane, but they have so many different points to cover now that it's nearly impossible for them to properly defend here. So at this point, we're having, having some real trouble here. But yeah, so off we go. We have them moving on the top lane gate, starting to take that down. And there's another mind control. Brenda. Oh, Jesus. Jojo at this point is just firing away with one ult after another, and the same is true for Hanzo. Both of them capitalizing on the cooldown reduction. It's just getting nasty, and Johanna is catching up in damage too, but she has so much control in those backline moves at this point. Mirrodin down. Oh, what a disaster. Sylvanas is down too. And with this, it's going to be a tie in the series. There's absolutely no doubt anymore that Diamond Hands is going to win game number 2 of this best of 5. Nicely done. Struggling in the mid game a little bit, but now turning it around, winning Infernal Shrines, forcing game number 3 with an even score between the two teams here. So yeah, we're definitely off to a pretty tight game between Team PEZ and Diamond Hands in the winner bracket final. Game number 3, we got a Zagara again. Yeah, our girl is getting a little bit more popular on Shire. She doesn't really have the best win ratio here, to be fair, but she is still getting picked. So here we go. We got on the left side, yeah boy, on Zagara. Diamond Hands was able to win the last map, so they took the victory on Infernal Shrines and have a chance to pull a little bit ahead. Qualifier number 2 for North America for the Heroes International. Hebe is playing Rhaegar. We got Nintori on Yrel, Mokka on Sylvanas, and Caesar Salad on Nubarak. CPX playing Tracer. We got Brandon on Diablo, Porky on Zeratul. Ooh, Zeratul, awesome. Yeah, that's not good for Sylvana. Sorry, for Zagara though. BBJ on Brightwing and Iptings on Lulnara. I honestly can't remember the last time that one of these Zagara plays was successful. I mean, we had literally in one of the qualifiers Zagara picked into a Genji, which was insane to me. And Zagara was also absolutely murdered. So now we have a Zeratul and a Tracer against the boy. It's not going to be easy for the blue team to keep her alive. I want to say not impossible, but it's definitely going to be very tricky. Sylvanas, I talk about Sylvanas, I mean Zagara, obviously. Zagara has definitely a target painted on her right from the get-go. With Zeratul and Tracer on the other side, that's going to be a thing. Unless, of course, they're just moving in and taking everybody down. So, here we are. We have the First Blood. Brightwing is dead. Nintori up at the top, playing against CPX here. Riding on the money. Money, 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 money. Makes the world go round. I mean, Zagara at the bot lane is obviously going to try and pressure as much as she can here, but they have to heavily communicate whenever Tracer and or Zeratul are missing, because once that one of the two gets a hold of Zagara, she is going to go down for sure. Talking about going down, Lulnara was nearly biting the dust here at the camp. Yeah, they even commit 4 heroes now to this thing. Zagara still dealing with the bot lane. Got some assistance also from the Siege Giants. And with the first 2 shrines now up, let's see who is going to claim Dragon Knight number 1 on Shire. It's actually interesting to see that in this series in particular, we now had not only Shire, but also Sky Temple. Those are maps you normally don't get this early in a best of 5. So interesting map pick patterns from the teams. That's definitely one of the things that we also have to watch out for a little bit at the offline event itself, because different regions will play different maps with different priorities. Brax's Holder is something that NA, for example, always prioritizes a little bit higher than, let's say, Europe. So there might be some interesting strategies that come through on certain maps for the main event. With level 4 talents on both sides, that gives us the Earth Living Enchant. We got the Envenomed Spines as well. Zagara is still very much so alone at the bot lane. Zeratul is more so rotating between the lanes in an attempt to make sure that the blue team doesn't get a dragon, and also makes sure that they are locking the experience in. But they definitely have to help out a bit there. So Caesar Salad is buying them a bit more time, and guys, I think they could have just gotten a Dragon Knight, honestly. They were threatening Zeratul, and if Nubarak bought another second or 2 and in the mid lane they would have immediately tried the channel, I think they might have had a chance here. It could have been close. You don't want to YOLO at the top for it and die, but I guess there was a bit of an opportunity. Here's the focus on Zagara as expected, but they're also doing a very good job targeting Porky immediately when he makes his appearance. Mokka also low, both of them nearly dead, and here comes Tracer and gets the kill, and they're going for Sylvanas as they're trying to lock in kill number 2 with success. So down they go, the blue team immediately in trouble. Still, they are now heading for the bot lane damage. Top side got taken, the shrine, the altar, so it means that now at least there's no Dragon Knight possible for Team PEZ. But that is definitely a pretty decent start here against Zagara. You get the kill, you steal the camp, you have bot lane pressure going on. And with that, they should be able to at least move through the gate and take some of that down. So that's what they're currently trying to pull off here. But either way, in the middle of the map. Porky still sitting tight. They take now also some of the creep tumors down. Limiting the vision that the opponent has with Zagara is obviously one of the biggest things, one of the most important things that you have to pull off. It's pretty much a legal map hack if you are able to get that over the time. Quest nearly completed. Shadow Hunter is in, and we got the wormhole, so a lot more mobility on Zeratul. That's something that Zagara definitely does not like. There's not a whole lot of stuns there for the blue team either. Now, they of course have an Uberak, but outside of that, they don't have a whole lot. Mainly speaking about it because we have Tracer and Zeratul, as mentioned, on the other side. So if Zagara gets targeted, one of the things that you can definitely do to try and protect her a little bit better is to try and stun out the aggressors. But I don't really think that's going to happen a lot here. So this is definitely going to be a very dicey battle for Zagara. Not an impossible one, but it's not going to be easy. Now, down to the bottom of the map, the Ring Around the Rosie play continues with Caesar Salad now taking control over the bottom shrine. And as 4 heroes have rotated over here, including Sylvanas and Zagara, they are now moving in for the tower. It's not able to get real damage. I mean, they're going to get some damage on the fort, I suppose, especially since there's now a Siege Giant camp also moving through. But the defense is there. That includes also Zeratul, who immediately jumps in, threatens Sylvanas, and she is real low. Same is true for Zagara. So lots of damage already dished out here. 2 kills to 1. In the mid lane, we got Tracer dashing around and poking Caesar Salad out. They're doing a really good job when it comes to just threatening the opponent, keeping them on the back foot, and taking control of the middle of the map. So Team PEZ, at least at the early game, seems to be the one to dictate a little bit what's going on here. They're just continually needling away against the opponent, and Tracer, the mosquito of the Nexus, is just buzzing around and trying to get as much damage in as possible. We have, with the Lightning Breath and now also the Might of the Nerazim, a couple more tools in the arsenal here to take position or just poke the opponent. Level 10 talents on both sides. Yeah, we get the more, so at least a little bit that could save Zagara here. But yeah, we're definitely going to keep our eye on Boy and see what he can pull off. Mind Control is in. Urel is a low at the top at the camp, but is a little bit deep, honestly. Goes for Brightwing, but there's a whole lot of heroes that are trying to make a play. CPX is missing the ult, but they're still threatening Nintori here. Caesar Salad was even diving in to try and get a Dragonite, but that hasn't really happened. And Urel is so low that she even has to pop her ult in this situation. So the ult has been chosen. Bot lane, Diablo is defending alone. We have Brightwing taking over the shrine at the top to deny the Dragonite, but in the meantime, Zagara has been attacked again. Mind Control and Ancestral both thrown out. And still some damage done here at the top. So BBJ is now moving in again, trying to soak the experience. But they're all over the place right now. A lot of aggression as they're moving in. By the way, a bit of an adjustment also for Lunara. She went into the Splintered Spear here for the extra wave clear instead of the traditional Choking Pollen that we're seeing on the NA side normally. Porky also sitting in the middle. Has to be a bit careful, not a lot of hit points left for him. Some assist from Brightwing would be nice. And of course a Polymorph could come out with that too. But Brandon, he needs some help as well. So Trashwing moving down to the bot lane, dealing with that for now. Still another camp at the top. Urel taking over, ensuring that no Dragonites claimed. But they are poking in the middle even further. Yeah, it's a little bit on razor's edge right now. It really feels that 1 or 2 kills could snowball that very heavily in favor of one team or another. They're trying to go for Rhaegar, but a nice ult from Zagara shuts them down, catches 2. Porky jumps away. Lightning Breath being used. We're going straight for the barbecue with Brandon here. 18,000 damage by Lunara. We got 16k from Zagara. She's top damage for the blue team for the time being. And Urel is still pressuring the middle. Structurally, blue team is doing better. They've done damage to the top fort. They have done damage to the bottom fort. So yeah, they're doing a great job with that. And Tori gets attacked, but, well, is able to move past the gate. Didn't have his ult available any longer, but didn't even need it in this case. So we're waiting for level 13 talents now for both of them. And Porky up at the top. This time with the pleb horse, by the way. I mean, dude, you literally call Porky. Money pig, money pig, money pig. There's no other choice here. This should be a no-brainer, honestly. Yeah. Double control now for the blue team. Zeratul is going to try and take, but can't. So CPX has to sit in the mid lane with Tracer and try and deny this. Mocha gets attacked too. Gotta be careful, of course, of the mind control. And our two laners at the top still trying to make their play. Zeratul attempting to take over, and he gets it. Nice. Takes it away, relieves some of the pressure in the mid lane. But at the bottom of the map, they're still fighting it out for the second shrine. And Urel has retaken, but now that Tracer has moved towards the top, it seems that Urel might actually gonna die here. Yeah, she is gonna die. Or isn't she? Tries to push them back, has already used the ult. If they're diving deep enough, they might just get the kill. And they do. They get the kill. Nicely done. Tracer is able to move out too. But at the bottom of the map, the aggression against Diablo might result in the counter kill. And it does. And they're, of course, not going to stop there. Not only do they... Well, Lunara? Okay, Lunara gets away. They threatened Lunara, but they are able to take the fort down. And that's more important. So structurally, they're doing fantastic. Really, really nice move. 3 kills to 2. I mean, I like it. The game is a little bit all over the place. We got a couple of isolated kills so far. But I love how the blue team, when they get a bit ahead, are always diving deep to make sure that they're getting real damage on structures. Now, Porky is a bit low and has to be careful, but they weren't able to get the kill on Zagara. That was huge, but they are getting a kill now on Rega. Rega down. Zagara panicking a little bit as well. You could really see that the Maw was just completely missed. Was trying to cut them off there, but couldn't really. Now, the bot lane still got to be dealt with. If things at this point is probably going to be really happy about a splintered spear so that he can take this down a little bit faster. We have, with 4 kills to 2, elite and experience 2 for Team PEZ. And of course, this game 3 is going to decide which team is going to take the lead. So, yep. At this point, what else do we have? We have all the way up at the top, Zeratul doing his thing. And yeah, if they get level 16, maybe they can get control of both of the shrines. I don't really think that's necessarily going to happen. But yeah, here comes the mind control again, and Brandon is just running in trouble in this multiple times now. It's the second time that he dies to that particular combo. Tracer also stunned, and that's a kill. So Diamond Hands are fighting back. They are fighting back, and they're getting the early level 16, which gives us now the epicenter for Nuburok, so more stun potential too. But they played this out real nice. Cocoon dropped on Tracer, mind control on Diablo, well coordinated, and then they kill one at a time. Now the top fort is in trouble after the bottom fort already got taken down earlier. Both teams with identical kill count. Porky wants the kill, but he can't get it. Can't sustain himself long enough in this situation. Top fort is now under pressure and will likely fall if they are making a commitment. And in the middle of the map, they're pressuring even further. Mind control is out again, threatening them even more. And here we are. We got another play for Mocha. But the blue team has really kept their players alive for most of these fights. I mean, of course, there's 4 kills to the name of the red team. But generally speaking, I expected, especially Zagara, to have a much harder time than she does right now. The team coordinates their efforts really well. Every time that either Tracer or Zeratul are approaching, they're trying to target them as quickly as they can. Dropping the cocoons here, also working nicely for them. Trying to isolate targets, trying to just take it 1 kill at a time. The 16 talents gave us, amongst other things, also the Master Warblade over here. And if we're taking a bit of a look at the damage numbers, Zeratul is at 34,000 right now. So, yeah, after the Lightning Breath got used, we got another more. Tracer still at the bottom of the map. Brightwing low, there comes the Cocoon. That's a bit too late, already moved too far towards the fort. But the momentum in this game is definitely shifting a lot. With the structures destroyed and Diamond Hands making their approach here, it is looking better and better for the blue team. Now, they are still nearly even in experience, so just a kill or 2 for Team PEZ is going to flip this very quickly. And also, it would be amiss if I didn't note that we didn't have a single Dragon Knight yet. We're 12-13 minutes into the game. We didn't see a single objective yet. Not even one. So, yep. Now, top side, we got Nintori, Porky. They are locked into this internal battle, it feels. I mean, Zeratul obviously not quite as hit point heavy as Urel here. He wants to join the team fights if he can, but he's their side laner. They decided they don't really have a proper side laner. Zeratul is literally the guy whose job it is to control the side lane, control the experience here. They did decide that they want to play this with Tracer, with Lunara and Zeratul too. So they have a lot of damage if they can coordinate it, but they don't have quite as much sustain as the front line as they would have had with a proper side laner, a proper bruiser here. So instead it's Zeratul, and he's of course fantastic rotating between lanes and just trying to take these minion waves down, but he is struggling a bit more to sustain himself through this. Brightwing too late to save him, as Sylvanas now assisted Urel in the kill. So that's another one for the blue team. So currently we have them with 5 kills, 2, 4, nicely done. And yeah, as it stands, Sylvanas is still pressuring a couple of minions over towards the mid fort. It's the final fort that's in play here. So yeah, another quick hit. Sylvanas, they just can't get the kill, can they? They have so much damage potentially, but they just cannot get these kills. Another good ult as Rhaegar saves a Nubarak. Nicely done. And that's half a level missing until 20. It's a pretty cool series, I gotta say. A lot of back and forth battles between the teams here. We got, for now, yeah, on level... By the way, the protective coating here too, I haven't even mentioned that. So a bit of an adjustment from Zagara too. So as long as Boy at least has a couple of creep tumors around, that's definitely gonna help him here. But, yeah... CPX at the top is still trying to also deny vision a little bit. Still no objective. Nobody wants a Dragon Knight in this game. Oh boy. And yeah, here we are. Diablo defending the middle. Is the mind control hitting again? Yep, there it is. But this time, not quite working out. Brightwing moving into. They got their level 20, and look at that, the bubble hearth for Urel. Bubble it up, baby. We saw that the other day already once, and I honestly thought it was a little bit of a meme pick because they were already hitting level 20. I've never seen this picked in Europe, for example. But it seems like this is actually something that Tori likes to do. Tracer gets murdered again, and the blue team is gaining more and more momentum, but it's attempted to be shut down as they are going for... No! For Nubarak, but Diablo, a bit too deep maybe. Brandon in trouble. Is he getting stunned again? Nope, but he tries to evade, moves too far to the side. Brightwing with a save. They're still trying to get away here. A quick cocoon on Zeratul, and Brandon gets out. How is Diablo still alive? That's insane. They get the mind control on Zeratul on the other hand, but they still can't get the kill here. It doesn't change the fact though that the entire map is now pressured by the blue team. They have a camp at the top, they have a camp at the bot lane, the keep is starting to take damage, and this is going to be the first Dragon Knight of the game. 16 minutes in. 16 minutes in and we got Dragon Knight number 1. Brightwing with the invisible friends, Zeratul with the Shadow Stride. The fort down. There's a final one. Another mind control. Oh boy. Yeah, Diablo getting attacked, but still able to get out of this one. And I guess it looked initially like they were just trying to rotate the Dragon Knight down to the bottom of the map. Then they got caught a bit here in the middle, and now they burned the wall down. But once again, Zeratul looking for a target. Kudos to Diamond Hands for keeping Zagara alive the way they did. With all of the damage that we have and all of the mobility on the side of Team PEZ, they did a fantastic job keeping both of them alive. This time Sylvanas might fall. What? They save her! Are you fucking with me? What the hell? How did that hit in time? That was insane! What a fantastic Ancestral by Rhaegar. Rhaegar gets the Ancestral, Sylvanas finally dies, but Zeratul, as he went in for the kill, gets punished too. Now we got 8 kills to 5. Brightwing gets caught by the Maw, and that's another dead fruit fly. Bam! Opening the map up wide as they try to go for the bottom keep. Rhaegar in trouble though, so good damage from Imptings. He's really saving this bot lane for them. Lunara's at 66,000 damage at this point. If not for her getting those Splinter Spear hits in that last fight too, this bot lane would have been most likely... I mean, I think the keep would have been lost. With the minions moving in and also all the heroes that had to be burned down quickly, Rhaegar used his Ancestral to keep Sylvanas alive initially, so he didn't have his ult available any longer. But that could have been a huge problem here for Team PEZ. And they're, of course, still under pressure in a real dire spot, especially since 2 of their heroes are still missing. They've completely lost map control, but at least they are not out of this yet. 0 kills against Nubarak and Lunara, by the way. Those are the only 2 heroes that haven't fallen in this entire game yet. The red team is just trying to stabilize, get their 5-man back onto the map, and then try this one back here. But yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for Team PEZ to start a comeback. Now, since they haven't lost the keep yet, it's still possible. But the next objective is going to be popping up on the map soon. Yep, 30 seconds. And then they have to venture back onto the map, push these lanes out, and really contest this. They can't allow another Dragon Knight to be taken. We're already 19 minutes into the game. What they need kills. They need a few kills, they need a bit of momentum. And, well, Urel, here comes the stun attempt from Anubarak. They're moving in again. Quest completed for Yeah Boy. They also have, of course, the double camp at the bot lane that helps them here. Brightwing has started to push the top lane out a bit further, so not with them at this point. But doesn't even have to phase shift in. So, yeah, the double camp gets taken down. That keeps the bottom keep safe for now. And they're also taking control of the bottom shrine. So, yeah, crisis averted for the time being. But we're nearly 20 minutes into the game now. Camps are still being claimed here. Can they maybe get a fort down here at the bottom of the map? I'm gonna try and make a move for it, but yeah, not really. Yeah, Lunara is the one. Another mind control connects. Nice. Yeah, they're even trying to make a play with Diablo here in the Hellgate, but that didn't work either. Urel was shutting them down hard. And the fight is still on. The two tanks still trying to play this out as best they can and open the kill opportunity up for the team. Not quite happening just yet. The mind control, this time it doesn't hit. This time Mokka misses it, but look at CPX, he's so low. The Ancestral had to be used too, though. A lot of cooldowns being burned here. And we have a full control over the shrines by the blue team. Diamond Hands is threatening another objective. The Cocoon gets burned down, the Maw misses. They try to go for the next hit on Intori. And also the Dark Lady's Call activated again. But the Shrine control gets claimed by Team PEZ. So they are denying another Dragon Knight to the blue team. Top lane, on the other hand, with that Bullseye Cam starting to threaten the next keep here, at least the wall. The fight continues. The teams are looking for the kill. And time again, we have the damage coming in from Lunara. She's really dropping the numbers now. And they still don't get the kill. How is this possible? Mokka is alive. Caesar Salad is alive. How is this a thing? Heavy on Rhaegar is able to keep them in play time and time again. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. PEZ must be so frustrated that they didn't get these kills. And now look at that top lane. The entire gate is gone. Porky has to retreat in order to help them keep the fort, the keep in play. But that means that now they have to give up even more space down at the bottom of the map. So another shrine is taken by the blue team. They are threatening the objective again. And the mid lane is where this is going to play out for now. Very likely... someone interrupt, please. Yeah, there we go. Very likely this is going to have a huge impact on the game now. Sylvanas against Brightwing down at the bottom of the map. That could well be a kill. And BBJ gets out. Gets out, barely able to make it. They're trying again for Mokka. Brightwing coming in! And it's again the Ancestral. The Fruit Fly dead. Urel jumped in and got the kill. No heals available anymore for the red team. They're losing Sylvanas. They're gonna lose Brandon. And they're likely losing Zeratul too. Nope, he's the one. Oh, well, actually, is he getting away? I don't think he is. Jumps back in, tries to get the kill. I guess at this point they've already more or less given up. Porky bites the dust. And now we have Nintori in the mid lane channeling another Dragon Knight. We are 22 minutes into this game and this should be the lead for Diamond Hands in the best of 5. They push through the bottom of the map. Another mind control connects. The keep is already gone as the Dragon Knight approaches, and at this point in the game, the Dragon Knight, I mean, this bad boy doesn't even hit like a truck. He picks the truck up and hits the core with that thing, so yeah, mad damage by that bad boy. Goes through the shield like hot butter through cheese. Diablo is down. And here we are, the lead. I mean, look at how he's chucking it out. Cancels the DK. They go for the victory. Diamond Hands taking the lead in the best of 5 series against Team PEZ. Nicely done. GG and well played. game number 4. Match point for Diamond Hands. The winner bracket final continues at the second qualifier for the Heroes International for North America. We got Battlefield of Eternity and Yeah Boys playing Junkrat this time. We got the Sergeant in the house. Sergeant Hammer, everybody, played by Mocha. Caesar Salad on Nubarak. We got Hebi on Anduin. And Nintori is playing Dehaka. On the right side of the map, so we got CPX with Tracer. It's actually kind of interesting because Hammer against Tracer is always nice for the Hammer player, since again, auto attacks is one of the things that Tracer can't evade. We got BBJ and Malfurion, so at least a good combo together with Tracer. We got Brandon on Garrosh, Porky on Hogger, and Iptings is playing Hanzo. It's Hammer time once again. And on level 1, we got the Advanced Artillery. There's of course a lot of damage against the Immortal with Hanzo, but yeah, Mocha with good positioning here could definitely make their life a living hell. It's all about whether or not Brandon with his Garrosh is able to get close enough to do something about this. One of the annoying things, by the way, is when you have Anduin together with Sergeant Hammer. Hammer alone is already a pain in the ass. But if you have Anduin together with Hammer, then it's so much harder to get a kill. As long as Anduin keeps himself far enough back and then can just pull Hammer out of this, it's nearly impossible to get a solid kill in unless you are coordinating damage at some point so quickly that Anduin just can't react to it. So we'll see if they can keep Mocha alive here, but it will be a very annoying game. That's the thing about playing against some heroes like Hammer and Chromie in general. Even if you win the game, you're just like, ugh. Yeah. But okay, so Anubarak gets attacked, but is able to move out. The root was on the ground. So they're coordinating as well. But the camp gets taken, and Hogga has now started to take over up at the top. We have, by the way, a Dehaka in this game. And every time you're seeing a Dehaka on Battlefield, it kind of reminds me of the earlier days of Heroes of the Storm. When we had, especially I think it was the first year of HGC, and even before HGC, when Dehaka was a regular pick on this map because you wanted to get to an early level 10. So you were trying to play the global card to get a bit more experience than your opponent, get to level 10 quickly, and then use that advantage on the second objective to snowball the game a bit further. Now, Sergeant Hammer is already helping them to really do a number on the red team down here at the bottom of the map. Team PEZ is not going to be happy about what's going on here right now. They lost the entire wall, and that push is just going to move forward. So Diamond Hands, they are making a move right now, taking the wall down, starting to pressure the fort a little bit. Now that the objective is going to be announced in another 15 seconds, they're already sending some of their heroes over to the Bruiser camp. Level 4 talents, we get the regenerative biosteel. So pretty much a build that Nick has popularized in Europe. He was the first one that didn't go into the siege tactics, but started with this build. And then some players took over the build and used the same. Some stuck it out with just the old style. In this case, Mocha is using what Nick has been showcasing, though, in qualifiers for the Europeans. And I think the first time that we actually saw this was also during the Masters Clash, where Nick... Well, Masters Clash, or even before that. Was it during one of the X Cups? I was not quite sure, but it was a while ago, a couple of months, for sure. On level 4, we got Indomitable now, with a level 4 talent for Hanzo. He also has his massive damage for the Immortal unleashed now. And everybody is just playing a bit more defense. Blue team is now slowly starting to move topside to poke over. We got also the bed of barbs over here. Caesar immediately threatening Hanzo a little bit and is like, yeah, stay away from our Immortal. I don't like the damage that you can dish out with all of this. So yeah, they're just stunning and booping it back as best they can. As Sergeant Hammer is getting some hits in all the way up at the top here. Now, generally speaking, in the early Immortals, I think that the red team has a bit of an upper hand with Hanzo. But things are definitely going to take a bit of a turn for the worst here if Diamond Hands is able to shield Sergeant Hammer and then continue their own push with the Hammer time. So, halftime show, as expected on the first Immortal, has been won by Team PEZ. They're still trying to defend the Immortal here, and Sergeant Hammer has taken over on the left. Hogga is now moving in. Porky, yeah, couldn't push them into the stun, but this is looking more and more like an easy victory on the first objective for the red team. And yeah, it's 50% shield, but of course now you gotta push into Sergeant Hammer with the Immortal, which, yeah, is gonna be a bit annoying. But yeah, nicely done. Again, you got Hanzo. your opponent is playing the hammer card. So you will win the first one, pretty much guaranteed. So that's what we're seeing here. But of course the question is how much can you do with the Immortal, and I would assume that it's not a whole lot, because Sergeant Hammer behind the gate is just going to burn that Immortal down pretty quickly. With the level 7 talents, we get the Subterranean Shield, we got the Hover Siege mode, so the mobility for Sergeant Hammer is now in as well. That's one of the big things that was missing on the first Immortal for them too. Hammer only gets limited value in these situations because of it. But after the wall is taken down, the Immortal has already lost its shield and 50% of the HP. So they get some damage on the keep, and look at that! Nearly a kill on Augur, but a nice flip from Garrosh. The attack against Nintori threatened him for just a moment, but nobody dying so far the game without a single kill. 50% of the HP on the fort are now gone, and they still move through the bottom of the map in an attempt to probably take the next camp here too. So yeah, nothing too crazy just yet. We got 10,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer, we got 11,000 for Hanzo. With the position taken down here, I don't think that the red team can make a real move for this. Porky gets attacked, Porky gets stunned, and Porky gets killed. He came, he saw, and he died. Veni, Vidi, First blood, therefore, for the blue team, and with the camp an opportunity to maybe even... probably not take the fort down, but if they can drop it down to 50% or something, that would be pretty sweet. You know what? Maybe they can do a little bit more than I expected here. So they burn the minion wave down, the Haka's at the top, Hoga is moving top side. 25% of the hit points are already gone, and they're continuing the pressure. Especially, of course, this is not only Sergeant Hammer, but also Junkrat. One grenade after another, and this is 50%. So they've done by now more damage than the opponent with the Immortal. And they've pulled ahead in experience. Level 9.5. Hanzo has to jump away. Tracer doesn't like Sergeant Hammer either, as I said before. The problem with Tracer is that she can dodge out on pretty much any skill shot, but you can't evade the auto attacks. So Sergeant Hammer, as one of the heavy hitting heroes in the game with auto attacks, is definitely someone that Tracer usually doesn't want to encounter. There's the early level 10. The Haka playing a big role in this, of course. And now that the Immortal is spawning, this should be a freebie for them. They at least should win the halftime show without any problems. Hanzo can, of course, poke and try to just chunk the shield down a bit. Up at the top, Hoga is now also trying to help them with one of the camps. I don't really think this is happening either. Yeah, well, depends a bit. Tracer's still down at the bottom of the map. How many heroes are they willing to rotate over? Not enough. So they delay it a bit further, but the camp is still taken by Team PEZ. So good for them. But the halftime show, it's going to be a victory for Diamond Hands. That's a guarantee. Arrow for Hanzo. Tracer hasn't made a choice yet, but we got the Tranquility from Malfurion. And with the halftime show victory, the only question is, can they win the Immortal itself? Because now that's level 10 on both sides. Blue team has to, of course, deal with a much more aggressive red team. And they are going to try and get Hanzo into a good position again to unleash his level 4 and just get the arrows connected. But the poke against the Immortal is a bit of a problem. And Mocha this time also has the Hover Siege mode. That's something that was missing on the first objective. And it's always a huge game changer. Yeah, even the Hauler Pole had to be used here. And Hoga, oh boy, gets out. But so many ults had to be used by Team PEZ. They even used Tranquility here. So things are getting problematic. The Haka's alive still. Tracer is doing damage on the Immortal. So the blue team, they haven't locked this one in yet. They're actually starting to lose a lot of ground here. CPX is burning this down time and time again. Yep, there's the cocoon. Shut down hard. Did not dodge out on it. Riptire even being utilized now. At least they're trying to. Gets the hit, and they really want this one. Tracer and Hoga are trying to race it, but they're a little bit too late. So the blue team, they take the objective. The second Immortal is going to move through the top lane for Diamond Hands, and they're now trying to get a kill even. But Hammer, oh boy, low, and gets away. They're trying to go for Hoga. Just one hit after another from each team, but look how low the Sergeant is. Mocha, damn. Is able to get out here. And I suppose while they are trying to recover their hit points, that Immortal is going to be defeated very easily by Team PEZ. Now, of course, there is a loser's bracket, but the red team is going to try to tie this up and force game number 5 so that they have another shot at the grand final. through the winner bracket. Now that they're coming in at the top. Yeah, they get at least... They get a lot more damage in than I expected, honestly, on that fort. Damn, son, that's not too shabby. That's way more than I thought they would get. Good stuff. They came in a bit late, but they're still doing work. The napalm on Mokka, of course, also helping them with a distance poke. Junkrat is also helping to shield Sergeant Hammer a bit further here. And look at the positioning of Anduin in particular. He's always ready for another pull. There's the stun. Yep, pull is there. The fort has been destroyed. The first one to fall in the game. Caesar set a little bit low. Another aggressive move by Brandon. And there's the taunt. And Junkrat. Oh, he's alive. Get the Riptire out. And they get the kill on Garrosh. Now, Junkrat himself is also there, but it's still a kill for a kill. And yeah, again, they're doing work. Getting access to Sergeant Hammer is nearly impossible right now for Team PEZ, and this is only the beginning of all of this. We are likely going to see it continue as more and more talents are dropping into the hands of the two teams here. So for now, the damage output on Sergeant Hammer is at 41,000. Even with all of the ranged poke and the random damage that he can accumulate, Hanzo is only at 34k. 27,000 damage for Junkrat, which isn't too bad either. Inubarak with the burning beetles now. Another play for the top hyper cooling engines are in. And the next immortal is also spawning. So this time it's going to be even talents right from the get-go. No advantage for Diamond Hands. But the bottom fort is super low. I mean, the minions pushed in again. And so, therefore... the Haka, he got it. Nice, he got the cap. But what I was about to say is either they have to push in with Sergeant Hammer to take the bottom fort, or if they can, of course, get the next immortal, then this one is not gonna stand a chance. Hogga is now trying to take the camp down and did so with success, but if the Haka can slow him a little bit, and he does, with a nice tongue, it's going to be even more damage on the bottom fort. So nice. They might not be able to take it down right away, but this is threatening even further, and it forces Hogga to react, which means he's missing from the fight in the middle for a little bit longer. So the fort is still there, but even just Junkrat with a couple of grenades should be able to take it down. And the Haka is already back up at the bottom of the map there. The CPX also has to be careful as we have another stun against Brandon. Sergeant Hammer trying to get the auto attacks in at the opponent's mortal, and it's all about hit things. Hanzo, time and time again, hit after hit, trying to work the cooldown in whenever he's ready, but it is Garrosh who's in trouble, and he dies just as the arrow comes in to try and save him. In comes the ult on Anduin. They want Hogga, and they can't get him. Cocoon was out. Yeah, maybe they overlayered some of the ults a little bit. The additional stun against Hanzo might have allowed them to get the kill, but it's a 5 versus 4 in their favor. And they might have lost the halftime show here, but they should be able to still do a lot of damage to the Immortal now. And Garrus is missing for another 5 seconds, and then he still has travel time back into the team fight. So yeah, the aggression, all the focus is of course straight up against this one. But yeah, here we are. So Hanzo is still in play. Hogga is dead though. Hanzo can still try to get some damage in, but he's nowhere near the opponent's Immortal. Garrosh is back to business, but it's a continuous 5 versus 4 because they're just losing heroes at the wrong moment in time. Brandon gets just booped around. Nintori chased, but this is another Immortal for Diamond Hands. There's pretty much no chance for Team PEZ to take this one. Or at least it's highly unlikely at this point. 5 versus 4, everybody rather low. This Immortal is going to be grabbed by the blue team and will move through the bot lane, and yeah, that's another fort. 100%. Another fort is gonna go. 48,000 damage by Hanzo now. Sergeant Hammer, Mokka weaving in those auto attacks like a boss. Right click, right click, right click. Didn't miss one of them yet. Yeah, we got the giant killer. Double pull now for Anduin. Yeah, the situation just got so much more screwed up for Team PEZ. Not only is Giant Killer a big issue, but also if you have that double pull on Anduin, that means you can keep Sergeant Hammer even safe or save whoever else. And, well, here we are. The bot lane being attacked. The Immortal opening it up. Sergeant Hammer is doing work. Look at Mokka working those right clicks in like a boss. Move, attack. Move, attack. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Sergeant Hammer, not an easy hero to play. But yeah, so we got 4 kills to 1. The keep is down. Job well done. And you can really tell that Team PEZ is having massive issues dealing with this. Again, the problem is casting those games from replays and a qualifier, obviously, with a huge time difference to Europe. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us the draft. That's a big problem with it. But I would assume that Hammer was picked rather late. In Europe, you see Sergeant Hammer banned out most of the time, but I think in NA it's not as common a pick as it is in EU. With certain teams, especially with Washed Up, you normally see Sergeant Hammer banned out very quickly. So my assumption would be that Tracer was picked before Sergeant Hammer was chosen. And yeah, Moka's choice here, it makes it really, really difficult for CPX to get close to the action. Whenever Tracer appears, Hammer is just coming in with a couple of auto attacks. She can't evade any of that, and again gets quickly hit hard. Malfurion can of course move in with the overheal and try and mitigate that effect to an extent. But it's not too much. And with good positioning and Anduin saving the day every time that Sergeant Hammer gets focused, this is a very, very tough one to break through. 55,000 damage in. And yep, at this point, we got at the top the only remaining keep for Team PEZ. That's a good move though, and they're actually getting the kill. Anduin asleep on the wheel. Look at Habi. Yeah. Not close enough to get the pull, so well done, and they got a double kill out of it. Alright, we are back to business. Good move. They're trying to go for Anduin too. Comes in with a light bomb to save his own ass a little bit, but this might still be a kill against the support. The Crybaby is on the move. Anduin! And he's alive. I mean, Anduin employing the French defense once again, and you can say about the guy whatever you want, but he was always very, very good at running away. Practiced that a lot, as you can tell. I mean, that's years and years of practice and experience here, so he is just he's just great at that. Running away has always one of Anduin's specialties, and yeah, he's just unbeatable at that. So he got out, he survived. We have Dehaka back in a second as well, but they did a good job there. Good arrow from Hanzo, obviously the approach from Garrosh in the first place, and finally getting the connect that they were working for. But now we got another flip, and they're going for an Uburak, and well, that's another kill. These are exactly those combos that you need. The arrow, on the other hand, yeah, that one is not gonna hit anything anytime soon. Maybe it's going to hit the south coast of Floria in a couple of hours. Rumor has it that it's on its way on Miami to try and get a top seed for the tournament. But this is a big immortal for the red team. So they have 4 kills to 4. They're bringing this back, everybody. They got a chance now to take the first fort down at the top. Get some infrastructure out of the way, and they're also grabbing their own camp now. So, good moves by Team PEZ. They had a lot of troubles getting a hold of Sergeant Hammer and coordinate their attacks properly, but the last 2 engages were fantastic. First one, they got a double kill. This one, they took a Nubarak down again. Now the defense is, of course, pretty dicey. The Nubarak isn't here, so you're playing out a 4 versus 5, and your opponent doesn't only have a big immortal, but also another camp pushing. So that fort is forfeit, and now they have to just showcase what else they can do, as the attack through the top lane is targeting the keep. Damage output by now 62,000 for Sergeant Hammer. Hanzo's taken over as the top damage dealer. He's at 64k. Yeah, tell me when he's at 69. Arrow is hitting. Yeah, in comes Tracer, but it's not enough damage. Not just yet. Brandon on the way back out. They are gonna save that keep though, aren't they? They gotta burn this down. They're looking good. Immortal is about to go down. And this is a little bit of a concern, of course, but they should be able to send somebody back in time to deal with this. But Porky is not hearthing. Nobody's hearthing right now. They want the kill. They're trying to go for it. The third catapult is moving down at the bot lane. So with 3 catapults on the core, we're 18 minutes in. That could cost them the shield and a couple of hit points. Yeah, that's a problem. Guys, that's a big problem. That's a triple catapult. Obviously, they're inting again and just going for the tower in the middle. So that's probably what saves them for now. Nice! That was a good save. But he dies regardless. Maybe a little bit too late. So the shield on the core is slowly falling. But with the tower still in play, it's not going to be too bad. Moka also about to be taken down. Damn, son. Team PEZ starting to pull it off here. Yep. If not for that tower, the core would have definitely taken some damage. Might still happen. but they are still pressuring the top lane and could take this one out. Yeah, another arrow misses. Oh, and that one hit hard. Garrosh is dead. Garrosh down. One catapult to the bot lane. With that tower removed, the next two catapults are going to make a proper approach. With this time have also another camp moving through the lane. But it's level 20 talents on the board. And that gives us the ultra capacitors. So, next objective is popping up too. And bad news for Team PEZ fans. They are missing Garrosh for another 30 seconds. So at the beginning, it's going to be a 5 versus 4 in favor of Diamond Hands for the objective. At least level 20 is available for both teams. 5 kills to 5. In regards to numbers, they've been pretty close, pretty much on eye level throughout the entire series. Anubarak with the Trader King on 20. And they are immediately moving in for it. 10 seconds until Garrosh is back. That's a bit of a freebie time here. Halftime show, it should be a victory. Yeah, Moga gets ping spammed hard. Lighting the minimap up. But off we go. Right now, we got the halftime show taken. Garrosh is back. Bot lane catapults are going to become a problem. They're in a really shitty spot because on the one hand, they got to defend the bot lane. On the other hand, they don't have any time to waste in an attempt to defend the immortal, win the team fight and take the objective. But once that these catapults are on the core, now that we've passed the 20-minute mark, they're of course going to hit hard. So that is another big issue for Team PEZ to deal with. I'm not quite sure if they can manage that. Honestly, it looks a little bit tricky. It's really dicey. Sergeant Hammer is working solid damage in, and Garrosh is alive. Garrosh is alive. Hog a little bit low. Catapult soon on the core. Another one is moving in, and the immortal is slowly falling. Yep, the arrow is out from Hanzo, stuns out Anubarak and Sergeant Hammer, but not for long. And the bot lane is now under attack. The core is losing its shield again, and the immortal is losing its hit point. They're losing on so many points here. It's starting to get really difficult. The objective is gone at the bot lane. They gotta defend now. Minion wave takes out the catapult, but it's a massive shield on that immortal. Yeah, this is a big one. 88,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. We got 80,000 for Hanzo. And, well, that's likely going to be the top keep. The question is simply, can they decide the game in their favor right now or not? The hammer has been dropped early. Yeah, bit of a poke already happening. I mean, PEZ is trying to do the only thing that they pretty much can do. They're pushing past the immortal and trying to force a bit of a fight, turning around, buying some time, poking it, trying to remove the shield as quickly as they can. But this thing is still going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. And the blue team is looking for that kill. Brandon doing his best. A stun attempt here. Oh, things barely getting out with another quick jump on Hanzo. Bot lane attacked again. Catapults once more on the core. The attack continues. In comes the light bomb with a bit of a stun attempt. Porky gets tongued, and that's bad news for the side laner. Porky low. He's still saved by BBJ, but the core lost its shield and is losing hit points. The keep is already gone. The immortal has nearly been defeated. Diamond Hands on their way to a potential victory. It's match point. Can they reach the grand final right here, right now? Big swipe from the immortal, but not enough. 83% bot lane defense by Hogger. 5-5, and do they move back? Damn! Team PEZ made it happen. They got it. They were able to defend. They lost their keep, but that was inevitable. They saved the core though. 83%, and they are still alive. But of course, you gotta YOLO now. You gotta YOLO hard. You gotta come in swinging and just force the fight, and that's what they're trying to do. Indominate being used, they need the kill, and they need it now. Catapults are marching towards their core. They know that they only have one opportunity here, and they're trying to go for Caesar Salad. There's another stun. Light bomb is being used, but Hogger's already died, and they are gonna lose Tracer. Tracer is dead as well, and that is gonna be game. 5 versus 3. It was the only chance they had. They had to YOLO it. There was no other way. You're either trying for the big risk or you are dying a slow and painful death. They decided to chance it. Didn't really work out. Brandon is about to go down. Shield is being removed again. They're just buying time here. So eventually Garrosh is of course going to fall, but the core is falling quickly. Riptire kill as we have the series decided in favor of Diamond Hands. They move on to the grand final and Team PEZ drops down into the losers bracket.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.